Hi and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I work out even when I feel like crap and why you should too. One of the best things that I could do for myself that actually really changed my life is working out regularly and going to the gym and prioritizing my health and fitness. That's one of the best things that I could have ever done for myself, that I could have ever done to change my life. I mean, I don't feel as though I'm where I want to be in terms of my health and fitness, but I would say that where I am now compared to where I was a year ago, 2 years ago, I'm definitely a lot more ahead. There's still some things I struggle with, which is fine. Progress, not perfection. But I do think that getting into fitness has radically changed my life, my mindset, my mental health, and my confidence and self esteem. It really is a gateway drug to a lot of other areas of your life. And not only working out in general, but also working out when I really don't feel like it. Working out when I don't feel good, like maybe I'm cramping or I'm just tired or it just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, didn't get enough sleep. The days that I went to the gym, despite all of those feelings, the better I felt about myself. And once I started to notice that, it made it easier to go to the gym when I didn't feel like it, because I had this evidence of, remember when that time you felt similar to this and you still went, and remember how good you felt after going despite how you felt. That's that evidence that keeps me going even when I don't feel like it, which consequently enough, the more you do something despite not wanting to do it, the easier it's going to get to do. And I think fitness is a great medium for learning how to be disciplined, how to just get things done regardless of how you feel. It's a great way to learn how to separate your feelings from your actions. Your feelings do not need to dictate your actions. You can act despite how you're feeling. And I think a great way to learn how to do that is by getting into fitness, by committing to yourself that you're going to do your workout plan regardless of how you feel. And on those days when you wake up and you're tired and you didn't get enough sleep and you have a lot of things to do and you still go, those are the days that are going to matter more in terms of your ability to do tough shit than when you go when you feel good, you have your pre-workout, you had a great night's sleep. It's going to matter more on the days when you show up when you really don't want to, because now it's going to just get even easier to do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. And it's in those times when you do something regardless of how you feel, even when you can give yourself more reason not to do something than to do something, and you still do it. That's what I live for. Those are the days where it's really going to be like, this is why I do it, because now I feel like I can conquer anything. I can feel like I can take on the world. All the biggest things that I was afraid of, I was scared of, I feel like I can do it. And that seems like a stretch, but once you start going, and I'm going to use going to the gym because that's how I learned this lesson. That's how I was able to kind of understand these concepts of just doing hard things despite how you feel through fitness and through prioritizing my health and fitness. That's how I was able to learn this lesson. When you go to the gym, it's a multi-step process, because first you go from not going to the gym at all, not working out at all, to attempting to build the habit of showing up regularly. It doesn't have to be every day, because you don't want to overtrain. But just as I was about to say that, I just remembered this quote from Alex Hormozy where he was talking about how he was talking to someone, they were worried about overtraining. He admitted that he was being snippy, but what he said to that person was, you can worry about overtraining when you actually look like you work out. And for some reason, to me, that was so profound, because of course, when you first start to get into the gym, you're worried about possible injury. You don't have your form right. And there's all these things that could go wrong that kind of builds into that fear around going to the gym. But then when I heard that, I'm like, if I get injured, okay, I can rehab through the injury and I can get better. And like, getting injured isn't going to be the end of the world. It's not going to kill me, as long as I don't drop a weight on my face. It's not going to kill me, none of that. But until I start to look like I work out and I am fit, that's the least of my concerns right now. I need to go in regularly, show up, do what I need to do, and start to build that habit of consistency. That's why I believe fitness is a great gateway to developing certain traits that you can transfer into other areas of your life. If you want to build discipline, if you want to build consistency, if you want to develop resilience, if you want to develop some of these core traits and skills that successful people have, a great way to do that is by going to the gym. Because with the gym, I don't remember where I read this or who said this, but with the gym, you get exactly what you put in. There's no hacks to getting more fit. There's no like get fit quick. There's none of that. Because the people that look the best in the gym probably have been doing it for years, probably have been working out every day or X times a week for years. And that's how they got the body that they did. Bodybuilders don't just wake up looking like bodybuilders. It takes years of discipline and consistency and rigidity with their nutrition, with their fitness, with the things that they do and do not do. They don't just wake up looking like that. It's going to take showing up multiple times. And I believe Alex Hormozi also said this, where you just don't win at fitness. You don't win at health. You have to maintain good health. You have to maintain good fitness. So fitness becomes this thing where you may start doing it because you want to have a certain aesthetic, or you want to improve your cardiovascular health or whatever. But then you quickly realize you have to keep going. Just because you show up to the gym one time doesn't mean you're going to be fit forever. You have to keep going. I remember I saw this Rich Roll podcast from someone that this guy, he was like, I think he was like 99 or 100 years old. And he said his secret to living a long, healthy life was running 5 miles a day. He didn't stop running 5 miles a day the first time he ran 5 miles. He did it every day for his whole life. It was like 5 to 10. So fitness is amazing. And I can't believe this is coming from someone like me, because before I didn't like going to the gym. But fitness is this amazing way to not only learn about yourself, but also learn about what you're capable of, your actual limits. And I know David Goggins talks a lot about the mental limits and how you can do more than you think you can do. And I totally agree. And I want to be the person that is constantly pushing those limits. I may not be as extreme as David Goggins, but I also want to be constantly pushing those limits. And I do feel as though fitness is a great way to do that. And I think that especially when I don't feel motivated, and when I start to feel laziness creeping in, getting into the gym and really shaking that off, working off that stagnant energy is what keeps me energetic. Laziness, it becomes this like jacket, like this weighted jacket, and it just makes it so hard to move. It's like you're moving through molasses, and it's just, everything is so much mental work to do. It just feels like it takes so much work to move forward and do what needs to be done. It's like your brain is just moving through molasses. Everything feels like 10 times harder than it should be. Everything just feels so difficult. And like shaking that weight off, I feel like the best way to do that is with fitness. It just, the way I feel when I'm working out regularly compared to when I start to slack off and I skip 2, 3, 4 days at the gym, and I'm not even just showing up to do 30 minutes on the Stairmaster or 30 minutes running. Those two versions of me, the version of me that is lazy, I don't want to say lazy like it's a bad thing, but the version of me that starts to slack off versus the version of me that tries to show up no matter what, even if the only thing I'm doing is 30 minutes of cardio, I feel so much better. I don't feel this goes for those times when I feel tired, when I don't feel good, my body doesn't feel good, and I still go and show up. 99% of the time, I still feel better after. I may be more tired, which is fine, but I feel better after having gone to the gym than I would have if I didn't just go at all. It's this amazing thing that starts to happen when you start working out, and you especially stop taking these excuses for yourself on why you shouldn't work out. You start to realize like you can still do things. All the reasons that you would give yourself for why you couldn't or shouldn't do something was bullshit. Like, honestly, oh, my head hurts. Oh, this hurts. You know how many times I've gone to the gym with a headache, and by the time I finished my cardio, my headache was gone? I felt like congested by the time I went to the gym, did my cardio. My congestion was better, or if not completely gone. How much times I felt so tired, like I was dragging myself out of bed, but then by time I finished my cardio, my workout session, I came back home, I felt ready to take on the day. It just completely shifts your whole mindset and your whole feeling within your body. When I feel that like laziness starting to kick in, when I feel that weighted blanket of just like stagnancy start to kick in, I know the best thing I can do for myself when I'm feeling that way is to move my body. And even if it's not just going to the gym and working out, it could be just going for an extra walk. Just go for a walk. That alone helps me feel better. That alone helps me shift my mindset into action instead of just stagnancy. And one thing I didn't realize until recently was Newton's laws of physics: an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays at motion unless acted upon by an outside force. That doesn't apply to just science shit. And that seems so simple, but for a while, like, I had separated these concepts and ideas that I learned through school and college and everything. That's like just, you are on this earth, so you're subject to the laws of physics here as a human. So you will stay at rest and continue to stay at rest unless you're acted upon by an outside force. And that outside force can also be you telling you to get off your ass and go for a walk. So without changing anything, without changing your thoughts, without changing your mindset, you're going to stay in the exact same place. You're not going anywhere. But should you choose to act and say, look, I want to do something, and get up, put your phone down, get off TikTok, get off all these social media apps and actually do something, you can actually go outside. You can actually go for a walk. You can actually go to the gym. But you can't stay stuck, stay on the couch, watching TV, binge watching Netflix. You can't expect to just stay in the same place, not doing anything, not moving, and then wonder why shit's not getting done. Because you haven't moved in 17 hours. How about that? And I feel like when you commit to fitness and you commit to making fitness part of your lifestyle, like it is just something that you do, then you start to understand these lessons. So fitness is just one of those things that you can learn a lot about yourself. You can learn a lot about how your mind works, about what you're willing to go through to get your goals. You'll learn a lot and really grow once you get into fitness. And one of the things that I've learned after getting to fitness and struggling through, that first year of my fitness journey where I wasn't being consistent, I didn't have a workout plan that worked for me, or I felt as though I didn't have a workout plan that worked for me. But one of the things that I've learned is that my fitness goals and my desire to achieve my fitness goals, I have to want that more than I do my current reality. So if I want to lose 50 pounds, I have to want that more than I want cookies and sweets and junk food and fast food. I have to want that more. Because that's the only way I'm going to keep pushing when it gets hard, is because I want that more than I want my current reality. I want that more than if I were to not do that and keep on my same trajectory. My life after achieving this desire, getting this goal, reaching this goal, my life after accomplishing that is a lot better and more in line with what I want to experience than my life if I do nothing and stay the same. Part of why I am starting to get really obsessed with fitness and just making sure I show up every day. One, because I build the habit of showing up every day. And once I build the habit of showing up every day, it gets easier to transfer that habit to other aspects of my life. So if I can get in the habit of showing up to the gym every day, I can get into the habit of working on my business every day, of writing every day, of connecting with new people every day. You're building the habit of being consistent. You're building the habit of discipline, showing up when you really don't want to, showing up when you're not motivated to do so, showing up and getting the thing done because the thing needs to be done and only you can do it. No one can be fit for you. No one can get healthy for you. You still have to be the one to physically go to the gym, work out. You have to be the one to physically make better eating choices. You have to be the one to physically prioritize your sleep and make sure you're getting a certain number of sleep that's optimal for you. No one can do that part for you. There are certain things that no one but you can do. And I think sometimes you see these videos on YouTube and it kind of is this like mystical thing, like no one can do the things that no one can do but you. The things that no one can do but you are getting a good sleep, having a good sleep routine. And it doesn't have to be like you're in bed at this time. Maybe you just opt for a certain number of hours per night. Regardless of what time you go to bed, you need a certain number of per hours. Or however you do it. You can listen to podcasts from sleep specialists and sleep doctors where they tell you how to create a good sleep routine so you can optimize your body and cognitive health and all of that. You can do that. But what it comes down to is you still have to be the one that goes to bed at the certain time so that the time that you know you'll wake up and perform your best the next day. You have to decide that you're going to eat healthier and make healthier eating choices and prioritize your nutrition over just consuming food that tastes good. You have to decide that, and you have to actually do that. Prioritize your nutrition. Eat fruits and vegetables. And there's plenty of information on YouTube should you go looking for it. There's that famous quote or parable, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So once you start looking for, okay, how do I prioritize my sleep? How do I have good sleep hygiene? You'll find plenty of people that can give you information for how you can construct a good sleep routine or develop good sleep hygiene. You can find plenty of people, nutritionists, people in the healthcare fields that are giving out information for free on YouTube, on their website, wherever, about how to make sure you're eating a moderately healthy diet. How to make sure you're eating if you have fitness goals, if you want to lose weight. There is plenty of content out there. Now, in terms of implementing that into your life and making sure it's specific to you, you can either pay that person for more one-on-one advice, or you can just try a lot of the things that they mentioned and see what works for you. Either way, you have to do something. You have to do something. And that starts with getting off your ass, stop scrolling on TikTok, stop binging all these Netflix shows. Just stop doing what you're currently doing, because what you're currently doing is not getting you towards your goals. If it's not serving you, if it's not helping you in any way, if it's not moving you forward in any way, stop doing it. And I know that seems simple, but that's literally what it comes down to. If scrolling on TikTok is not helping you make more money, have fulfilling relationships in your life, open you up to new experiences, you probably should stop doing it. Because you're not going to live the life that you want scrolling on TikTok and expecting different results than the ones that you're currently getting. There's another famous quote. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly, expecting a different result. So why do you keep doing the same things, expecting something different to happen? You're literally insane. If you want to lose weight, maybe your eating habits now need to change. Maybe your activity level now needs to change. Maybe your mindset and the way you see and perceive why fitness is important, why these are things that you should do, that needs to change. If you have a negative perspective or aversion to doing things that are good for you, maybe let's start there. Why are you so adverse to and so opposed to going to the gym? Why are you so opposed to eating healthier? Why are you so opposed to doing what you need to do? And really start to ask yourself those questions and then sit with the response that you come up with. Are you afraid of going into the gym because you're insecure? Are you afraid of eating healthy because you don't know if you're going to find anything that's healthy but also tastes good? Are you afraid of doing the things that you need to do to get to your goals because you're afraid of failing or being judged by others? Call it out from yourself so you can identify and say, okay, now I know why I'm avoiding these things. Now I know why I'm not doing these things. Now that you know why, are you going to continue to let those things stop you from doing what you need to do? Are you going to continue to let those be the reasons that you don't accomplish your goals, you don't get to where you want to get to in life, and now you're just bitter and jealous because everybody else is doing the things that they need to do to get to their goals? That starts with you. That starts and ends with you. And there are just some things in this life that will start and end with you. I know there's a lot of people that, and there's a lot of talk on the internet about how do I get a mentor? Where do I find a mentor? All of that. It starts and ends with you. You have to become a person worth mentoring. If you want someone to coach you, you want someone to mentor you, but you aren't receptive to feedback, you aren't receptive to constructive criticism, you're not receptive to the opinions of others, who's gonna want to mentor you? It'll be a waste of their time and their breath to mentor someone that's not receptive to that kind of information. So instead of looking for a mentor, ask yourself, what will it take to become the person that is worth mentoring? What will it take? What do I have to do? What do I believe about the world that isn't true? What am I doing that's not serving me? You have to be straight up with yourself about that. And confronting that aspect of yourself is difficult. It is really hard to grapple with the fact that the reason that you're not getting where you want to go and you don't have the accomplishments that you want to have is because of you. You're the reason. And instead of pointing the blame at everybody else, pointing your finger about everybody else, at the world, at the government, about this person, that person, whatever, finding any other reasons besides the fact that it's on you is what's holding you back. And a great way to overcome that is to go to the gym. Develop consistency by prioritizing your health and fitness and going to the gym. And that's not medical advice. I'm not a medical professional. So obviously talk to your healthcare professional if you have other health issues or anything like that and you need the okay to start working out and being physically rigorous and all of that. Not my business. But it's a great way to learn how to silence the bullshit and the demons that will talk you out of becoming your highest self, talk you out of doing what you need to do, give you all the excuses and all the reasons why you shouldn't do what you need to do. That's a great way to silence those voices, silence those demons. Because the wild part is, all those excuses, they're valid. They're valid. I don't have to work out if I have a headache, but I'm still going to because I'm showing to myself that I'm not going to let a headache stop me from doing what I need to do. I can still work out when I'm tired, despite the fact that, yeah, I'm tired. I could use an extra hour or two of sleep. But I'm showing myself that despite being tired, I can still show up and do what needs to be done. I'm reinforcing my own self-esteem because I'm doing what I said I would do. And I want my fitness goals more than I want to stay on my current path and continue the current trajectory if I don't change anything, if I don't go to the gym. I don't want to live that life. I don't want to live that life. So it's fun to gamify the experience, and I think that's why I enjoy it now, because I'm gamifying it so I can encourage myself to keep up with it. And it's okay to develop these mental frameworks and ways you have to trick yourself and to do the thing. As long as the thing gets done, how you get there doesn't matter. Really, now, being ethical and moral, but if you want to do 3 miles on the treadmill, whether you run for a little bit, walk for a little bit, then walk, or run most of it and then walk the rest, how you get to the 3 miles doesn't really matter as long as you get to the 3 miles without quitting and stopping. That's the real goal. Can I get there without quitting, without giving up, without stopping? Can I push through even when it hurts? But it starts and ends with you, always. You can watch all the videos in the world. You can mentally masturbate to all the self-help content that you want. And if you're liking this video, go ahead and subscribe because we got more coming. But at the end of the day, it starts and ends with you. You have to decide to start doing something different. You have to decide to want your goals more than you want your current state. You have to want to change more than you want to stay the same. And no matter what, when it gets tough, when you don't feel like it, ask yourself, do I want this more than I want to reach my goal? Do I want to sit on the couch watching TV more than I want to make some money, more than I want to grow my business, more than I want to be healthy? Because if you do, by all means, do what you're doing. It's your life to live at the end of the day. No matter what I say, it's your life to live at the end of the day. So it doesn't matter to me, as long as you're happy doing what you're doing. But if you're unhappy and not doing what you're supposed to do, not prioritizing your health and fitness, not prioritizing your relationships, not prioritizing living a life worth living and actually creating something and adding something to this world, then you can't be mad that you feel bad. It's okay to feel bad if you're doing all the things that you need to be done and you just haven't developed the momentum yet for you to be rewarded for your efforts. That's fair. But if all you do is sit on TikTok, sit on Instagram, sit on Facebook, sit on Snapchat, and you just bounce from one social media app to the other while binging Netflix, while binging Hulu, and you know more about the shows on all these platforms than you do about your own life, maybe it's time to go back to the root of things, which is you. You have all this drama in your life and you don't know why, but the constant denominator between everything going on is you. Let's start there. What are you doing that you shouldn't be doing? And you shouldn't be doing it because it's not moving you towards your goals. It's not adding anything of value to your life. Let's start there. Who are you hanging out with that brings out the worst in you, that brings out the bad habits in you? Are you consuming content that is inspiring you to actually move forward even when the going gets tough? That's inspiring you to actually do what you need to do. The easiest way to hack your mindset into becoming the person that you want is to surround yourself and consume content from people that have the life that you want to live or something close to it, that have already achieved the goals that you're working to achieve yourself. That's the easiest way to hack your own mindset. Just start, if you want to build a business, the easiest way to get over the hump and the fear around building your first business is to listen to people like Alex Hormozi, Tom Bilyeu, Ed Mylett, all these people that have built businesses, have some sort of financial success, and are giving away the gems to how they got there for the free on YouTube.com. You're already paying for YouTube, the YouTube premium. So you ain't seeing commercials. You're already paying for the premium. Now watch people that's actually going to help you get to where you want to go in life. There's so much information for free, and it drives me crazy when I see people making stupid ass mistakes, surrounded by drama, not accomplishing their goals, just mediocre as hell. And there's content from Alex Hormozi for free. For free! And I'm going to link his channel in the description down below if you haven't heard of him. Him and his wife, Layla Hormozi. Love them. At first I didn't, but now I do. Love them. I know their mission is to make business education available for everyone. And my God, they are doing the damn thing. Part of why I feel like I'm starting to make more traction is because I've been listening and applying, keyword, and applying the information that they give out for free. For free. There is no excuse. And I know that information is not the reason that people stay stuck, because there's so much out there. I think people stay stuck because they get comfortable where they are. They get comfortable with the drama. They get comfortable having all these problems. They get comfortable being mediocre. So it's terrifying to them to consider a life where maybe they have more money. Maybe they have their own business. Maybe they're doing better things. They're having an impact on the world. It's scary to them because that's not what they're comfortable doing. They couldn't even fathom it. And that goes into other conversations around self-worth and value. And that's a different video for a different day. If you want to be better, if you're in a position where you don't feel as though you're living the life that you want or that you're capable of having, if you feel like life is happening to you, life is just happening so fast, everything's just happening to you, and you don't feel like you have any say in what's going on, things just happen and you have to just take it as it comes. If you feel like that, just know that you have to be the change that you want to experience. So instead of just life happening to you, start to develop the systems and securities that you need so that should problems come, you're already prepared to handle it. But when I first started, and this is a quick story before I wrap up this video. When I first started my personal development journey, I was in a place where life was just happening to me. Any little thing that would happen, I need new tires. It was a lot of stuff around my car. But I would have all these car issues, and it would just knock me down so much. I felt like as every time I get traction, I would have this thing with the car. It would knock me down so much. And then it got to a point where it's like, okay, the car is going to need certain maintenance. So instead of waiting for the car to become completely unusable, why don't I start trying to stay on top of the maintenance or be proactive with the maintenance? So instead of waiting till the car shuts off to be like, oh, there's a problem, maybe when I start to hear sounds that don't sound right, I take it to the mechanic then, so we can diagnose the issue and address it immediately before it turns into a bigger issue. That switch where it's like, how can I proactively prepare for any problems that may arise so that when they do arise, they don't knock my whole world around? That was a huge mindset shift for me. And then I realized that life started to, and it was a hard shift to make though. It was a hard shift to make, but I realized once I made that shift and I started to live where I was, as soon as I experienced a problem, how can I make sure that this problem doesn't keep happening, or I'm prepared for it to happen again? I know what I need to do to make sure if this happens again, it's not going to distract from my whole day or put me in such a hole financially that I now have to crawl out of that hole, and that in itself is causing more financial issues. Become an active participant in your life. You have a say. You don't have to just let your life pass you by. You don't have to just sit on TikTok for the next 50 years of your life and then wonder why you don't have the life that you see on social media. Because I guarantee you, even though people post the content on social media, they didn't get that lifestyle by sitting on social media all day. Have you ever noticed that when you watch a movie or anything like that, they're not sitting on social media all day? Because that'd be boring to watch. If you think about your life, and if your life was a movie, would somebody want to watch you sitting on the phone all day? Watching Netflix? Eating junk food all day? Is that an exciting movie to watch? No. The best movies, there's a lot going on. They're out doing this, they're out doing that. You know, stopping this villain, do this, whatever, world peace. They're doing stuff that have a larger impact on, but more than just them. They're serving their community or saving the world or whatever. Whatever movie you like to watch. Think about that the next time you want to just sit and watch Netflix for 10 hours. The next time you want to just scroll on your phone on social media for 10 hours. If your life was a movie, would it be a movie worth watching?